Thomas and Friends, Thomas's Brave Adventure. Words wrote by Lorelei Hart. Picture by Lisa Maria. Whispering Woods. Olly couldn't get enough of trains. He loved the clickling clacks of the wheels, the whistle of steam, and most of all, the promises of adventure. So when Grandpa invited Olly to visit, he knew how he would be getting there. The Blue Railway, straight across the countryside. It's odd to have been a big adventure, but when Olly learned that his family would be tagging along, it suddenly didn't feel like one. It felt more like his sister Lily tugging his hat again. I thought I'll visit Grandpa on my own, Olly grumbled. I am big after all. Oh yes, said his mom with a chuckle. You're a big brother now. Olly felt his parents were looking at each other in a way that told them they didn't think he was big at all. As they boarded the train, his parents peered around the compartment to find seats. Olly, look, his dad said, pointing at an empty row. Why don't you sit across the way and enjoy the ride? We'll be right there if you need us. Olly's eyes lit up. Across the way wasn't exactly on my own, but it was close enough for a big, brave adventure. All aboard! As the train sped up, new sights appeared. Busy towns turned into flower fields. Butterflies danced outside the window. Horses gobbled up in the distance. Olly turned to tell Lily all about it, but she wasn't there. Ticket for one. No one to join you on this big adventure? The conductor asked, smiling warning. Nope, Olly beamed. I'm doing it on my own. With a twink in her eye, the conductor reached into her coat pocket and pulled out a little blue toy engine. You remind me of my old friend Thomas the Tank Engine. Would you like to hear a story about him? She asked. I love a story. On the island of Sodor, Thomas the Tank Engine chugged into the train yard. He has 6 small wheels, a short stumpy funnel, a short stumpy boiler, and a short stumpy dome. He's a cheeky little engine too. I'm not cheeky, I'm useful. His best friend Percy pulled the mail train, and he was coming in for a daily break. I'm running on steam, Percy sighed, and not too much of it. Even engines need to rest. Just then, Sir Topham had hurried over. He was in the right state. We've received a last-minute delivery for our special event, but Percy's on his break. I suppose we'll just have to wait. Thomas stopped in his track. This was the perfect job for him, a chance to prove how useful he could be, all on his own. Is it? I'll do it. I am big, strong, and useful, Thomas said, thinking loud. Of course you are, cheered Sir Topham Hatt. It's just past the Whispering Woods. But you haven't traveled there before. Would you like some company? Thomas peered around the train yard. James and Henry were in the sheds. Rosie was passing by. There were other engines who could help, but Thomas wanted to prove he could do this on his own. No, sir, he said. I can do it. Are you sure? I'm going on my own. We'll be fun. Then you'll better crack on. As Thomas made his way into the Whispering Woods, his puffs became fast and shaky. Chuff, chuff, chuff. He hadn't visited this part of Sodor before. Soon, he heard something quite strange. A chick chick, then a squeak squeak squeak. Thomas's whistle nervously rang through the woods. Did you hear that? He said to no one, because no one was there. Okay, I get it. Thomas was usually a brave engine, but even brave engines sometimes wish to have friends beside them. I'm fine, on my own. But as Thomas continued, the woods seemed to be laughing. Even though he wanted to be brave all alone, Thomas let out a worry whoosh, then rounded the bend and came upon a family of otters playing in the water. They chitter as they swim. Good thing I'm extremely brave and extremely useful, said Thomas. Or someone might have thought I was afraid. Watching them, Thomas wished he would wait for Percy so they could see it all together. They would have such fun. Why, a lot was there to see. He discovered there were marbles to find across the Whispering Woods. He sniffed sweet flowers, danced with a storm of butterflies, and even chugged along the bumping horses. He went on rolling, rattling, and gliding. Thomas wasn't scared of the Whispering Woods anymore, but he was ready to be with his friends. I really am. As he rounded one last bend, Thomas finally came upon the Whispering Woods station. Only one thing could make this day better. Thomas had finally understood. Sometimes he wanted to be alone, but most things were better when shared with those he loved. Thomas! Thomas! Percy and Rosie rushed down the track behind Thomas. Are you alright? Asked Percy. We heard you beep, beep your horn and we raced to find you. We thought you might want some company after all, added Rosie. And now that he had his friends, Thomas felt better. Much better, in fact. All was well at last. Olly held the toy engine close as the conductor finished her story. Suddenly, his spot all alone didn't seem so special. You know, I think I'd like to go and sit with my family. Splendid! It's only I don't want Thomas to be alone. Olly glanced sharply towards the toy engine on his empty seat. The conductor nodded back, quite serious. Yes, I agree. I think he's rather taken to you. Why don't you keep him? Thank you, Mrs. Conductor, Olly hollered. I promise to keep him safe. I don't doubt it for a second, she replied. And in good company, too. Hey everybody, it's Josh's Junction here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the hell out of that audiobook. I gotta say, it's 5 a.m. and I've been recording all night. I just got the book and honestly I think it's a pretty good book, so shout out to the creators and shout out to especially the artists, because man, the illustrations were awesome. Make sure to buy this book officially through Amazon, which I'll leave a link in the description, or you can just go to your Barnes & Nobles and pick this guy up. So thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. All aboard, and see you guys later.